indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it was just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting them.
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. They go play action now. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
The general manager of the New York Jets continues to make investments in the receiver room in this draft. 10th overall pick. They invested again, this time with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Great speed, outstanding body control, really goes up and snatches the ball out of the air. Everything that you're looking for in a WR1. He gets the first down right there.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They go play action with Wilson. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Ball again on second down. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. On the ground with a tight end. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Jeremy Ruckert with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back in the extra point attempt. Unsuccessful.
I need your help on this one. We just saw an extra point blocked. Do you think the rain had anything to do with it getting blocked?
Everything goes a little bit slower, but I'll tell you what, the snap and the hold, they look good.
Yeah, and most of the time, I love when you bring that up. Slower. It's deliberate when it gets slower, right? Because you have to go through it a little bit more. You want to be just a little bit more careful catching the ball, putting it down, and giving him a chance to kick it.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Watson now to throw. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Browns had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. They'll try the air now with Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
York able to send this one through, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 6-3 is our score after one. It's the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Anthony Walker giving that O-line fits. He gets in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Does the big boy have the juice? And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise. And
he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now Watson throws another interception. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. So this defense doubling its... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now Zuerlein on and the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
7 yards there and a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by DJ Reed. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Come on, set.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And Myles Garrett, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 2nd and a yard, Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks, like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot before the break, Watson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. The Jets pressure too much as down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
It's certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rookie Jermaine Johnson going all the way from last chance U to now dropping NFL quarterbacks. The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Here's Berrios. Dances by him. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run with Hall. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are an extra point away from going up by 30. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 40 now on second down, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Watson on first down. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt.
And they get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Watson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Carl Lawson in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Watson.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield.
At the 49-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's Wilson.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Garrett Wilson.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Jets will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He's going to lose 17 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a third down and very long. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be third and forever. Here's Watson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
Ball on a give up the middle.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Anthony Walker up behind the line and finishing that play off.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Ball again on second down.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Here's Wilson to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st down, it's Watson. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. From the 24, Watson. He's got Njoku over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
Now it's Watson. That one is caught by Hunt. And he coughed it up. And it's scooped up by the Jets.
Loose inside the 30.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Straight ahead is Hall. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 54 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 2nd down, Wilson. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Jermaine Johnson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Brandon Echols. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
A give running right is Hall.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
They'll run with Hall.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Hall again.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Now it's Wilson, and this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult, but guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Hey, you got to snap it. You got to snap it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
It's the gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Jets, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return.